Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. Today is Monday, September 15th, and today on the podcast we have Andrew Ross.
What are you doing, podcast for lot?
Yeah.
Come be on a lot podcast.
Yeah, hell yeah, All Jammed Up.
This dude's doing a podcast. If you want to be on some podcast, come give an interview.
Hell yeah. Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast. Today is Monday, September 15th, and I am your host, Clint Dotson. I got my new fresh turmoil and tinfoil jamgrass shirt from Lori at Drifter Merch. Shout out to Lori. This shirt is sick. I like it. Thank you. Today on the podcast, we have Andrew Ross. Andrew Ross is a business owner in Asheville, a big deadhead. We talk about GD60, but man, I know I probably say this every episode. It's a great interview, really good interview. This might be one of my favorite interviews I've done on the podcast. Ross is a really cool dude. We get into all kinds of things. We talk about Asheville. We talk about the shift between like being a parent and being a fan of jam band music and experiencing with extracurriculars. And he's fucking hilarious, too. So I think it's a really good interview. One of my favorites in a while, for sure. And I really hope you guys enjoy it, too. So let's get into it. Mr. Rouse.
Hey, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Alrighty, guys. We are here today with Andrew Ross, local Asheville.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what my title is. Bar owner for sure.
Yeah.
Music enthusiast.
There we go.
Yeah, sure.
There's a picture of you on your Instagram, like you and your kid, and it was like, wooking ain't easy. And I was like, should I introduce him, local Asheville wook?
Wook it's a weird term, right? Like, it feels derogatory in certain senses, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to really borrow anything right now. Like, I got pretty much everything I need for the most part. But I'm also not scared to borrow. So, like...
My thing is, like, when someone, like, within, like, the wook scene calls me a wook, it's like, that's a nice thing. But when someone on the outside is like, that guy's a wook, I'm like, who are you talking about?
Yeah, it's a term that is, it surrounds everything that I, like, enjoy and encompasses everything around me, but I just still don't really fully understand it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, people see the dreads and they're probably like, white guy dreads, that's like half the box, right?
Yeah, I mean, white guy dreads is a whole thing in itself. So I think wook is the easiest target destination of a word. Yeah, distinction, right? But yeah, I haven't really cut my hair since I went to military school, and that was like 20 years ago.
Damn, you went to military school?
Yeah, I went to military school for high school for growing some pot.
So you would get in trouble when you were in high school?
I got in a lot of trouble through high school, yeah. Yeah, a lot of trouble.
And said you grew up in Roanoke, right?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Roanoke, Virginia, and I grew up there and then went to military school in Waynesboro, Virginia.
Okay.
For high school, and then after that, went to Boone. Did Boone for a bit, went up to West Virginia, Maryland, like the Cumberland, Maryland area,
okay.
And then Asheville.
Gotcha.
I've been in Asheville since 2008, 9, something like that.
And then so which one did you open first, the Fork in the Alley or the Whale?
No, so Whale is the first thing. So I've, came to Asheville. I was 18 or 19 when I got here, cleaned hotel rooms, worked in Ingalls, just kind of scraped by at $6.50, $7.20. I remember when they made the minimum wage $7.25, and we were stoked. And then worked at Mayfield's downtown, which is gone now, and I actually just got the neon sign off the wall.
What was that place? I feel like I've heard that since I've moved here a lot.
Mayfield, but this is a fun one. Mayfield's is cool. It was a Cajun restaurant downtown owned by Loretta Woolley, and she also owns Loretta's, the sandwich shop that also just closed.
Okay, and that's like Loretta's is like when you're at the light, it's like right in front of you.
On Lexington, Loretta's is the one that was on Lexington, but it used to be on Patton, where next to Music Hall, and that small where that guitar store used to be. It was like the small sandwich shop. She moved it down there, whatever, and then Mayfield's is right across the street from Pritchard Park.
Okay.
So
and they're turning it's like an Asian place going there, right?
Yeah, who bought it? Something. I
saw Pan Asian the other day when I was walking by.
And that might be the Ondas people, but I don't really know. I don't want to speak. I don't want to say something that's not true. But something's going there. So, anyways, that was me and all the homies. We got the jobs there. My buddy Spencer's my best friend still. And we grew up together. He started working there. My wife, my now wife, but my girlfriend then worked there. All the homies, my buddy, my best friend Joyner, we all worked there. And we worked there for years and held it down downtown. It's how we know everyone. was a really cool moment in time, and we're all still really good friends.
That's sick.
So then, then I went to Wicked Weed, and Wicked Weed was really the start of my beer career, which I just started there as a prep cook, working my way through, helped open the Funkatorium. I was an original hire at the Funkatorium, nice. And then kind of interjected my way into being behind the bar, because I just really like talking to people, and I enjoy all things, especially mixed fermentation. And so was doing that, and that's where I met Jesse Van Note, my business partner for the Whale. He started as a security guy, and I started as a cook, I guess, in a bar back. And then he actually created the tour program that still exists for Wicked Weed. It was kind of out of him just standing there talking about mixed fermentation, sour beer, because he was the door guy. And he was like, I'm going to make this a tour program because people are really interested, which was a cool move. And then I pushed myself into the bar, so I was kind of talking and chatting people up at the bar. And one day after work, we just had a few drinks, and we started talking about, Thirsty Monk has been a big one. Brews and Ales was a big one, really turning people into, high-end craft beer. But we were like, we want something that's, Brews and Ales selection and, an upscale atmosphere that just feels very not pretentious and approachable, right, to learn about good beer. So we're talking about it, probably had 20 beers or something crazy, and the next day at 8 a.m., this dude is, at my front door honking. He's like, let's go look at real estate. And really from there, it moved through. So that was West Asheville, and that was 2017.
Okay. So it hasn't been, crazy. I guess that's almost 10 years.
This will be 8 years in December that we opened. So it took us about 10 months to get everything going, maybe 9 months to get everything, opened or whatever, and the build out. And then we did that, and then after we did Asheville and it was well received, we opened Greenville, which is down by the baseball field on Main Street.
So you have 2 Whale locations.
I've got 5.
5?
There's 5 Whales.
So there's Asheville, Greenville.
So there's Asheville, then Greenville, and then after Greenville we did Charleston.
Okay.
And Charleston's really cool. Greenville's really cool. It's our big I would almost call it grandiose ballroom, feeling really high ceilings. Just a really stunningly aesthetically stunning place. And then Charleston is kind of a good, feel good, small shotgun style bar kind of. And that has an amphitheater outside of our door that's called the Refinery, and Sound Tribe Sector 9's playing that October 3rd and 4th. Shout out to the homies. They do big music down there. We don't book the music, but we do sell alcohol, THC drinks, wine, whatever during the show, and that's cool. And then we opened Outpost in Hall Creek. So that's downtown Hall Creek, which is just us, Penny Cup, and Creekside.
Okay.
And that's a cool little location. That's the neighborhood I live in. And then we've got South Slope, which we opened right before the hurricane.
Do you guys brew beer?
No brewing.
No, okay.
Yeah, so what we do is we try to... we source beers from all over the world, all over the country. We really try to stay away from local unless it's a collaboration.
Okay.
And what we're doing is just trying to be the most well-curated beer bar list. And that's, of course, beer, but that's also non-alcoholic. That's also NA beer, but also just non-alcoholic. It's THC. The THC drink game has been really cool for us, and we've really dived into that or dove into that. And so... wine, we really make sure that we're moving. So it's just kind of a place that the whole idea of the Whale is that it's the best curated list, but it's also the removal of pretension from high-end alcohol. We don't do spirits for a reason. We're looking at introducing some RTD stuff with spirits,
what is that, RTD?
Canned cocktails and stuff like that, right? But we don't want that to be the focus. We want the focus to be a place to learn, to enjoy about beer, with a knowledgeable staff, but it not feel like you're in the wrong for being there.
Yeah. You don't know this beer?
Yeah, totally. Because that's how beer bars are, man. Toronado, I can use them because it's just historic in San Francisco, one of the coolest places in the world, right? But you walk in and they're just jerks, and you're damn, dude, am I wrong for being here? And so we really try to take
you guys got to get the all jammed up beer when it comes out.
Who are you making that with?
One World.
Oh, cool.
They're
doing
across street. A peach sour.
Sick.
Yeah, and you know Nick there, the brewer?
He's great.
Yeah, we like brewed it together. So he's like, so you can like actually say he did something with it. So like we did it, and it's like in the fermentation stage.
Nick's super talented.
Yeah, he's the homie, dude. I fucking love that.
Yeah,
guy.
he's super talented.
Citra Bomb's like my favorite beer of like all beers.
One World, they opened after us in West, and they've done a great job. I know Jay and Lisa, they're my neighbors too, and they've done a really good job with obviously the beer side of things is cool, but like creating a space in West Asheville that is an approachable venue. When Mothlight left, there was a lot. That was a big community hub, almost more than a venue. Yeah. And I feel like, especially in the jam band community, bluegrass community, jamgrass community, whatever, the all-encompassing, all my friends.
I'm there, dude. Like, I really
it's a great space. They've done a really good job.
I haven't been there as much the past couple weeks. Just been busy, but like every like Thursday for Fee Fi Fo Fish, like Sunday for Sons of Stars, and then like I'll just pop in there for one of the random shows too. Like she does a great job of getting like good talent there.
Bro, Alex is just on fire.
Dude, he's a man.
Yeah, on fire.
He's the star of the podcast, dude. He's been on a lot. Yeah. I think he was my first episode, and we do like every like milestone episode. He comes on.
That's sick. Yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a man. Yeah, he geeks me out.
Yeah, I don't know him as well as I like to, but we know each other for sure, and just his picking is crazy, dude.
Yeah,
he's really him, Isaac. Isaac's from Blacksburg, and so Roanoke's right down the street and stuff. So he's got a real Roanoke connection, obviously, and now he's down here, and just watching that kid rip and seeing his parents. That it's very easy to tell they're his parents because they all look the same. I mean that's impossible. They're all great, but like that's a real cool vibe too. Yeah. Like there's a lot of really fun stuff going on right now in music. Asheville, I don't think I'm speaking to the crowd, but like COVID was rough here. It wasn't just rough. It was just interesting. It was rough everywhere, right? Yeah. It's a pandemic, but the revival at post-COVID and then Helene, we're all feeling away, especially anyone that's been here through all of it and also been here before that has seen what it was like previous. And then, it goes back further and further, right? Like the music scene that when I moved here and like, almost 20 years ago is very different than the music scene now, but it's still really cool, right? Yeah, it's still really cool.
The Helene hit the day we were supposed to move into this house, and we were living in St. Pete, so like our house got fucked up there, couldn't move in here, and then we like stayed in a cabin in Hendersonville for like a month before we could move into this house, and then we moved in and we got here and we were like, are we supposed to be here, dude? Like, because everybody's going through like the craziest part of their life, and it's just like, hey guys, what's going on? Like, it's like, are we even fucking supposed to be here, dude? And like for a while we were like, did we make the right decision? Like we moved up our whole life to come here, and then like around the new year, kind of like, I guess like shows started happening, and it's like started meeting more people, and it was
you got Billy Stringed.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and it was like,
damn, you're a young buck here, huh? I didn't realize that you had been here for that.
Not even a year yet.
Oh, cool, man. Welcome to town.
Close. Yeah.
Dude, Asheville's such a cool spot, man. I mean, we could spend the whole podcast talking about Asheville just in general, but there's a reason that people end up here, and there's a reason that people stay, but there's also a reason that people leave. There's a lot of 6-monthers that like come, and it's not what they expected. It's always been said like, it costs 40% more to live here. You make 40% less money, but you're 40% happier. Like, and I totally believe that. And like we're on this crystal vortex, like sitting on the biggest quartz deposit. Like there's all these things to Asheville. But Asheville is I travel a lot, love traveling. It's like my favorite thing to do with my family. But like there's, I never have an aversion to coming home. And that's speaks a lot about this place. And there's a lot about the people. And Asheville tends to have its own, I don't know, force for lack of better words, that really does like keep like-minded people around and engaged. It's not just present, but like engaged. And like, seeing you doing this and, me doing the whale, like, I don't have any experience. I'm just making this up as I go, right? But I'm enjoying the ride. And Asheville's one of the few communities that things like that can actually still happen.
Yeah, I feel like I said, I've been here for less than a year, so I feel like I have more friends here than I've had like anywhere in my life.
It's
like
a good town, man.
I think too, like I've probably put myself out here more than I have anywhere else.
It's a comfortable place.
Yeah, but like I've never done this thing and been like, someone be like, I don't want to, what are you doing? Or like, why are you doing it? Everyone's always like, that's awesome you're doing that. It's working that you're doing that.
Yeah.
So like, it is just like a city of just like lack of, it's like good vibes. Like it's always good vibes here. Like even when the hurricane was like right after, like I felt like people were pretty positive for the most part in a time where it's pretty difficult to be positive.
Dude, the hurricane's great. I had a baby in the hurricane. We were 37 weeks pregnant when, well, my wife was. I was not pregnant, but when the hurricane hit, and yeah, the hurricane. It's crazy. It's crazy. The anniversary is this month, but it took a few days for anything to open, for anyone to get off the mountain. We ended up in Charleston, and this kind of segs into what we're here for. Well, we're here to just talk, but. So I was like, hey, I need to get my wife by a doctor, right? We're like close enough to have a baby. So we get everyone down Charleston, take my mother-in-law with us too. She lives down the street, bring her along, and get to Charleston. And we finally meet an OB down there, and they're like, yeah, your blood pressure is out of control. We need to deliver this baby. And we're like, nah, I think it's good. Like, we kind of just got hit by a hurricane, like whacked by a hurricane, dude. Like, I think maybe that's why we have high blood pressure, So we actually had to, like, against medical advice, my wife out of the hospital and get her up to Roanoke. And so this is, like, one of the craziest
Super
parts of my
stressful,
life,
yeah.
right? Like, I've been through, everyone's been through shit, right? But, like, and everyone has a Helene story. Like, they're all different. It's just how natural disasters work. We all had a different experience, but there's a unifying sense in it that, yeah, it fucking sucks. Or, excuse me, yeah, it sucks. Like, okay, cool. Yeah. But, yeah, it sucks. We all had a fucking sucking, shitty fucking time for a minute, right?
Yeah.
And, but the coolest part, man, was that Sector 9, who's like, Soundtrap Sector 9 has been my favorite band since I was a kid, man. Two I've seen the most of. We do a lot of Fish. I love The Dead, but like, I do a lot of Sector 9. Love Sector 9 full-heartedly. And Sector 9 was playing my bar that Friday and Saturday. So we got down to Charleston. Hurricane hit here Friday. I think the road opened Wednesday, Thursday, something like that. We got down there, saw the doctor, dealing with this crazy stuff. And then, like, Friday and Saturday, my favorite band is playing my bar.
Yeah.
And, like, that's such an emotional high and such an emotional turmoil of a place, And, like, I turn around, I'm at the show, and on Friday night, I turn around and, like, it's a lot of my homies from Asheville, and everyone's just escaping this or finding a reprieve, a temporary moment of, like, stress relief in such a high stress situation that none of us know what the hell's going on. I mean, there's no internet service, there's no cell phone service. So the only people that know anything about anything are the people that have left, and that wasn't easy. But a few people were like, I'm going to get out of here, regroup, and then go back to Asheville. And so they're all in Charleston, and like saw like a lot of special homies, man, and like that was such a cool vibe in such a dark time,
Yeah, man, that's pretty intense. It's kind of crazy. Like,
baby's cool. Yeah, we had the baby.
Yeah,
She's great.
baby's good.
She went to the fair yesterday. She's
how was the fair?
Fair's great.
Yeah,
bro, I'm still tatted up, bro. Like, I got the all access ride ticket. The rides are nuts.
We have a thing in Chesapeake called the Jubilee.
Okay.
And like I imagine it's similar, and like I'm not doing those rides, dude. Like I'm not going on.
I ran into a homie there, and I was talking to her because I actually saw her. She's eating like this giant corn on the cob, and I was like, "Damn, that looks dank." And I didn't even realize it was her. And then I was just staring at her cob as she was like walking towards me. She was like, "Yo, what up, Ross?" I was like, "Damn, my bad, dude. I wasn't trying to stare at your cob too long." But
stare at your cob.
But she was like, "Yeah, I don't ride the rides." And I understand why you don't ride. I mean, it's a rickety thing, but
maybe the Gravitron.
They don't have it.
They don't have it?
Are you talking about the spaceship?
Yeah, dude.
Bro.
Yeah.
What happened to the Gravitron?
Have you seen the video on YouTube of like the people just standing up? Like you're not supposed to lay down. Like you can like put your feet on it. And,
I don't need the video, bro. I'm one of those people. We had one. I grew up going to the fair in my hometown, Roanoke. It was my birthday every year in July, and they had the Salem Fair. And it's huge. It's like as big as the Mountain State, maybe even bigger. And they always had one. And so like, I would go to the fair like
stand-up guy.
I was like a 5 or 6 time a year fair guy. Like I'm going every day. So at first you're like, oh, can I flip upside down? You do the And then once you master that and you lose the fear of the space, you can do whatever you want. But I have seen people like jumping around. Like there's some next level shit going on. Going on the Gravitron. They don't have one. Yeah.
I wonder, probably something to do with that. Like, there's just too many. There's had to be some incidents on it.
It has to be a liability.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be a liability.
I mean, all those rides are a liability. I saw a video the other day. I'm like, it was a fair, and it was one of those things that like go like this, and when it would get to the top, it would lean forward. And they had like 20 people there, like pushing it every time so it wouldn't fall down.
They've got one. They've got. I've seen the video, but they got one at the fair. And the second I saw it, the first thought was like, bro, do I need to hold on? Like,
yeah.
Like, am I ready to like put my weight into this so people don't flip?
I imagine that the fair here too has some like interesting like I don't like fall like cowboy stuff, like people like wrangling pigs and shit like that.
So Mountain State Fair is like it's been around forever. And it's kind of a big deal.
I wish I would have gone now.
Oh, it's still you got it all week and next weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're good. It was the opening weekend. It's like 10 days long, but and it started or got like popular because they've got it's kind of like a ski lift that goes from the top to the bottom.
And where is it again? Sorry,
it's at the Ag Center and like by the airport next to Sierra Nevada.
Okay.
Yeah. And when they built that, it was like a huge deal. Like I don't know the year. I wouldn't say probably 50s or something like that. I have no idea, but that people were coming from like all over to see this ski lift, essentially, you know? And so it's grown throughout the years. But the best part, I mean, I take my kids, I've got my kid turns 4 next month, and then Ruby Jane, she's a hurricane baby, she turns 1 in October as well. So, but the best part of the circus, you know, is my 4-year-old or 3.5-year-old, whatever you want to call it, he really likes the rides, and they have rides for kids, and it's fun. And, you know, we did that all day yesterday. But they've got a circus here, and it's a tent circus, like a real deal tent circus. No animals, which, you know, thank God. Not really big into the circus animals. But like, they had the motorcycle wheel of death or cage of death.
I saw you post that on Instagram. Like, I'm trying to book these guys for 10 years.
And I have been, dude. I've been trying to get one at Whale West forever, dude. You can't book them. But that's really cool. Like, and the vibe is great. It's you know, I grew up here and moved here as a young guy, and you know, there's all these things, and maybe this is everything in my life, including like the band Sublime. Like, I used to think like, man, that's so lame. Like, the fair's so lame, you know, Sublime's so lame. And like, dude, oh my God, I love Sublime.
I had the same experience. I went to Halloween last year, and like and Sublime was like the midnight show, and I was like, I don't really want to see those guys. And then I got closer to it, and I was like, why the fuck would I miss Sublime?
And I know every word.
I
forget. I know every word. You know. So I've like been more and more like as I get older, especially in having kids and stuff, into like revisiting the things that like I had some sort of inherent bias against, and circuses were one of them for me. Like, I think based on just the animals, right? And like, I grew up going to Barnum and Bailey circuses, you know, and then learned about like the treatment of the circus animals is terrible, right? But like going into taking my kid as a 4-year-old to see these circus and seeing the joy on their face, man, it's such a cool experience, you know. And you know, I really like doing stuff with my kids. You know, I think you get 2 choices in life. You either do your things that your kids want to do, or you bring your kids along to do the things you want to do. And I'm very much the latter, you know. And
your older kid looks like all the videos you post and stuff on it, he looks like he's always having the time of his life. He looks so happy.
Del, named after Del McCurry, he really is embracing it and enjoying the stuff that we're throwing at him. He's really into music, which is cool. And we just took him down to Dead 60 out in San Francisco.
Yeah, I want to talk about that.
Yeah, and that was awesome. And it's just, you know, it's crazy because I don't really ever talk about this stuff as much as I like to. Like, life experiences are just cool, and like I feel incredibly grateful for like all the stuff that I get to do. You know, it's cool. Even just like grateful to be able to go to the fair and like rock it with the kids, you know, my wife. So
yeah, I know Instagram's like not a reflection of real life, but like I said, I was looking at your Instagram trying to like find questions for this, and it's just like you've been to so many cool places. I feel like
Instagram's crazy. I mean, it is crazy. Like social media is such a weird thing, right? Like I want to show pictures of like doing the things that I really enjoy, and I don't really care about oversharing, I guess, because I'm not like sharing from like an emotional standpoint or something like that. It's just like, hey, look, we did this. But I also like look at it, I'm like, I don't want to be a dick, and I'm not trying to like be like, look what I did, you know. So it's like interesting. Like I want to showcase like I'm having a good time, and I feel very fortunate to be able to have a good time, based on, you know, how you move through life and how you approach life. You make what you can, you know. And so I feel incredibly grateful for it. But like I do like to post on my Instagram, right? It's my private. And I recently changed it to a private Instagram because I was like seeing all these people that were like watching me, but like I couldn't see it. And I was like, this is starting to feel weird.
Yeah.
It's starting to feel weird.
I made my personal private as well because like I would say people who like stuff on the podcast or like look at my stories but like not follow me, and I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's what I was saying too. I was like, if you want to be part of the fun,
at least follow me. Yeah, like,
totally.
I'll let you follow me, but at least like let me know that you're looking at my shit.
I had a homie reach out to me the other day. I was like sitting at home, and she like sent me a DM. I didn't talk to her in forever, but it's like an old homie, you know. And like we started just kind of like out of nowhere chatting, and like really had a great conversation. Like there is such joy in social media and connection, you know, like, and it's a great tool for connection. But I also can see that it like breeds, like it can breed the most negative aspects of people ever, because there's like this, like, you know, you're essentially chasing a rat race sometimes for there's nothing to achieve. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and that it's a crazy, technology is a crazy thing because like my generation, you know, I'm a few years older than you. We grew up like not having cell phones and not having access to the internet all the time. There was an internet, right? Like we had the AOL like CDs, you know, and like
take 20 minutes to do anything.
Yeah, totally. And like, you know, we were the first generation to have like AIM and stuff like that.
That shit was fun.
Yeah. But like it was really tested on us, and we all had ADHD. Like there's probably some sort of correlation, right?
Imagine,
But seeing it now, you know, and I look at my kids and like think about like how technology affects everything. There could be a lot of adverse effects from the use of technology, and so that's really like when you're talking about kids and music, that's where music comes in. And music, I find, is really an important thing for balancing technology. You know, I have a decent vinyl collection, and like that's something I share with my kids, and like we really enjoy that analog, right? Like there's a physical connection to the music. There's an analogness about this. Like you're actually listening to something tangible of, you know, waves and rivets hitting a needle, right? And like those kind of connections I think are really important. That's what I'm trying to instill in my kids is like, you know, technology is kind of bullshit, bro. Like, like listen to things that are real.
That you can actually feel.
Pick up some rocks.
Yeah, so you mentioned GD60. I haven't talked to like really anybody on the podcast who got to go to that.
It was the best thing in the world.
Yeah, let's hear about it.
It was the best, dude.
So what was it? Billy Sturgill Trey as the openers, right?
Yeah, so they played, I think they had like an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It's a little foggy on exactly what it was. So it was a full set, you know, like it wasn't like a festival set or anything. You know, they got to play, and but yeah, even backing up to that, so. You know, San Francisco being kind of the heart and soul of the Dead,
Mecca,
you know, we did fairly well in Chicago for the 50th, me and my wife, and had a killer time at that. And, like, Chicago was, like, everything was deaded out when you got down towards Soldier Field and, like, restaurants and bars and everything. And it was a really cool vibe, right? Like, it was everyone.
But it wasn't, like, real, like, San Francisco.
Bro, San Francisco is a different vibe. Because it's not just for the event. It's a lifestyle choice that's been
going on for 60 years,
and it wasn't manufactured, right? It happened organically. It's a counterculture movement based in LSD, because the Grateful Dead is just LSD in music form, right? Like that's literally. I mean, there's a lot to it, but like. It's the freedom of expression. It's the freedom of thought. It's the freedom it's music without boundary, right? And seeing that encapsulated in people and movements and things 60 years after inception, and Haight-Ashbury, bro, is the same. Like, I've been to Haight-Ashbury, I've been to San Francisco when it's not dead, obviously, but seeing this just bands and dogs and naked people and, you know, vendors and homies and, you know, all just in the 3 blocks of Haight right there, 4 blocks of Haight, and like naked guy at Ben and Jerry's who, you know, you've heard about, but he's here, you know, and like that side of it, you know, and then walking down the street and Mickey's got his installation going, and you get to see, you know, I took my kids to see the drumming and like, and all the artwork and, you know, talk about the association, and, you know, it's just like so cool. But then you get to the show, the fairgrounds were beautiful, and it's Polo Field, like the Dead's played here. Soldier Field's kind of a sad place, you know? I mean, it's a great place, but, like, it's like Jerry's last show, you know? It's like, And then you go to Golden Gate, and it's like, no, like Golden Gate, you know, I believe they played Golden Gate. I know they played the Park, but they know they played Polo Field at least once, twice, maybe a few times, but in that same spot, but in the grounds, in a different area, whatever. It's just, there's so much energy when you have 60, 70,000 people together singing the words to the same songs that everyone knows so well. And then you've got these artists that, you know, I can't really call Billy Sturgill or Trey up and coming, right?
Yeah,
There's huge artists, but and seeing the level of appreciation that they have for what this community's built. And there's no facade. That's a really special thing. Like, it doesn't exist anywhere else.
They put the 3 hitters out there, too, to open those shows, dude.
I love Billy, right?
Yeah.
Like, who doesn't, right? The dude is taking bluegrass. I mean, I named my kid Dale, right? Like, he's taking bluegrass and made it mainstream and approachable, and the dude feels like he could be sitting right here, right now, and we'd be rolling this joint. Like,
One day.
Yeah, like, he's the homie, and he's so relatable. And same with Allie, you know, like, you just feel like, and, you know, we've got mutual friends. Like, there is some cross, but, like, you just feel like with that dude, like, you know, and it's the same thing. You know, I don't know Sturgill as well, but it's the same thing with Trey. It's like, you know, you see these moments or quips of Trey for, like, you know, Bittersweet or something like that. And you're like, oh, yeah, I would kick it with that dude.
Yeah.
You know, like, that would be the homie. And now, like, Dad Trey, you know, on some Love and Light shit, like, you're like, ah, man, like, I really like that guy, you know, like, makes you happy. And so, like, that energy with Dead, and, like, dude, and I don't want to speak for Billy, but, like, he was nervous, bro.
Yeah.
He was nervous.
I mean, when we watched, because we watched it, like, live 15, 20 minutes on YouTube or whatever, and Chloe, my girlfriend, was like, do you think that's the most people he's ever played? And I was like, yeah, like, for sure.
It probably is. I don't know.
It was like 70,000 people out there?
Yeah.
It has to be.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And, dude, his song selection was so great, but, like, you could tell. I mean, I've seen Billy play a bunch. Like, you could tell he's nervous. And it's because it's a big deal. And okay, Dead.
And he has so much respect, too, for, like, the Grateful Dead, I think, as well.
You wouldn't be there if you didn't.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be having this conversation if we didn't.
Yeah.
The Grateful Dead is like one of those things that's just a non-negotiable. And it, you know, Fish is interesting because there's a lot of deadheads that don't like Fish, right? I was one of them. I didn't like Fish at all for years, dude. And Spencer, one of my best homies, man, he huge Fish guy. You know, he would always make, you know, I couldn't understand why I didn't like it. And I was like, dude, it's because it's like clown music. It's like made for, it's like silly, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the Dead's not silly. It's about like guns and jail and robbing. And, you know, this is about like, you know.
The meat stick.
Yeah, wash my feet and take me, you know? Yeah, to present it. Like, this isn't it, you know? And then I went and saw Fish and ran into my cousin who I hadn't seen in like 20 years. And, you know, she put me in the clouds and stuff. And, had just this magical experience, and now I love Fish. I'm taking my kids next week to Alpharetta. Like, and
I haven't seen him.
You've never done Fish?
I've never seen him.
Okay. Do you not do Fish because you don't like Fish, or have you just not done Fish?
It just hasn't, like, I lived in Florida and then never came, like, down there.
Well, there's a reason.
And then now that I'm here, I just, like, I was going to go to Charleston, and then the All Jammed Up thing was the weekend after, so, like, had to do shit for
Kindle
that.
Street.
Yeah, Kindle Street.
Those are the boys.
Yeah, we'll get into Kindle Street. Those are the homies.
boys, yeah.
And then I really want to go to, I think it's like 2 weekends they play at the Coliseum in 757, where I'm from.
Which is
that's
your,
like my favorite building. Like, growing up, I used to always go there. So, like,
Hampton's
I feel like that's got to be the first place for me to see him. And I'm like, I'm trying to see if I can make it work, but I just haven't pulled the trigger yet.
Can you do a Tuesday, Wednesday next week?
Tuesday, Wednesday next week.
I don't know what your work schedule looks like and stuff. But
I might be able to.
dude, drive to Alpharetta. It's 3 hours.
Yeah, I could maybe do that.
Oh, Alpharetta is always the throwdown. They play every time they play Alpharetta. It is always so well done. It's an easy venue.
Talk a little closer to it.
It's an easy venue. It's Alpharetta is great. I mean, there's no one in the Southeast that will tell you different.
Okay.
And they're playing 2 nights. And the best part is, I went on Ticketmaster. There's still lawns available. It's $120 for 2 nights. It's $60 Fish.
So that's next. I'm going to Sierra Fair on Monday.
Well, it sounds like maybe you have a 3-day run.
I gotta talk to Dave.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm driving back Wednesday night so my kids can go to school Thursday and stuff. But it's an easy drive. Fish.
I'm gonna see them. Like, I'm gonna see them soon. I just haven't yet.
Don't hesitate. Fish is the greatest touring band that's touring right now. It's the best.
I've heard they like sound the best they've sounded in a while too right now.
I think there's a lot of controversy or argument could be had about that. They tone-wise sound amazing. Trey's voice sounds great. Singing-wise, they're tight. I mean, these dudes have been playing together forever, like 42 years or whatever. It's not the rage fest that, 95, 96 was, right? Like, it's a different style, but they're older. There's so much comfort and, in Fish and the community, and it's the biggest. It's when the circus comes to town, dude. It's the biggest party that still exists for like-minded people.
Yeah.
And that's a cool thing, and who knows how long we get it. I mean, going to Dead is emotional. Trey getting up there, and Trey, I don't know if you know this, but he flubbed saying what his first Dead show was. So there's like all this controversy because at Fare Thee Well, he said it was 81, I think Hartford or something. And then historically, he said it was 83 at a different place. I can't remember what
Yeah, somewhere up there. Probably.
Yeah, so but that's the greatest thing about the Grateful Dead. No one even knows.
Uh-huh.
You don't even know. Like, it's just part of you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter when it was. Like, Fish is going to be that way for my kids' generation, right? Like, Jerry died when I was 7, so I never saw Jerry, right? But, like, and I'm not trying to put any bad juju towards anyone in Fish, but, like, those dudes are getting older. So it's, like, it's important to me to take my kids to see
I think
this.
a cool thing about Fish, too, is, like, it's the same band that it's always been. If
anyone in Fish wasn't there, if they tried to replace any member, it wouldn't be Fish and they wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
They're very smart in how they've done it. I mean, Trey had his struggles and, thank God that's over, right? But, like, Fish didn't replace Trey.
Yeah. I've seen the Trey and Anastasia band like 3 times, and I saw Oysterhead, which is fucking cool.
Yeah, that's right. So.
But I've never seen the whole Fish. Never seen them.
Next week?
I might be able to make it happen.
Dave?
If you're listening, this comes out Monday, so make sure you listen to it Monday.
Hold off on that baby for just another few days.
Dude, she's about to pop. Dude. She came in the other day, and I was like, "You're allowed
Shout out to
here."
the homies, though. Those are the good folks, man. Those are good folks.
Yeah, like I said, I was working in semiconductor sales for a while.
Yeah.
And then this summer, I was like, I'm just gonna take a summer break, like just work some low stress jobs, like kind of chill and find out a job I really want to do. And I did construction for like a month, and then like got into it with one of my coworkers, and was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
Yeah, that's tough work.
And then I went on Craigslist like that day, and Liberty was hiring, and I just walked in there, and I was like, "I can cook. Can I work here?" And then Zach, the manager, was just like, "If you come in tomorrow for a shift, we'll see." And I came in, I was like, I fucking like this place, dude. I was like, everyone here is really cool.
If you're in Asheville, shout out to Liberty.
Shout out Liberty. Come, I can make you a pancake. Come on.
Yeah, the place is dope. The owners are great folks. Big whale supporters too. I appreciate that about them. But also just genuinely great folks.
Yeah.
It's a great vibe in there, and I've known a lot of people that have worked there, past and present, and it's an Asheville gym.
Yeah,
honestly.
I think even if I were to get like another job, like a 9 to 5 or whatever, I would be like, hey, don't hire anyone for a week. Let me make sure, because I will come back if this is not what I like.
It's got that same. I was talking about Mayfels. It's got that same vibe. Like everyone's homies. You're friends with the owners and management. Like there's when a restaurant works, and you're asking me about Fork up in Roanoke, and we'll talk about that too. But like that's what we're trying to dial in. We're trying to dial in, and I got my partner up there, Nick, who we've been homies since kindergarten. I got a killer general manager up there, Jennifer McFadden. She's been in the music scene, but also in F&B in Roanoke forever. And, like, us as a team really have identified, like, that's what makes it work, right? Like it's not just about how good the pizzas look when they come out. It's a part of it. Yeah. But it's also about, like, the camaraderie and, like, the energy and the vibe that we're putting forward to ourselves internally, but also out to the world. And when you can get that to a place that is sustainable and makes sense and everyone's enjoying it, like Liberty, I feel it when I walk in there. Dude, that's where I want to hang out.
Yeah.
That's where I want to hang out.
Yeah, like even my coworkers, like on their day off, they'll come up there and like whatever they need to get done, like schoolwork or just like doing some journaling or whatever, they come in there, get their coffee, and just hang out there like all day.
It's a vibe.
It's like if you can go to your job on your day off like that, I think that like says something about where you spend your time.
Yeah, I think the whale too, Like I see a lot of my employees on their day off, and then I see a lot of people that like, will get another job, move on past us, and everything's temporary. Like we want people to be moving through life, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it takes. But then they sit up at the bar all the time. I'm like, you could just be getting paid to do this, right? You just want to hang out here. Like, we could pay you, like, that's what we had before. But
So when did the Fork in the Alley place come? Was that last? After
yeah,
all
so
that? Okay.
Fork in the Alley came through the hurricane.
Okay.
So
That's a hometown spot for you.
yeah, it's a block from the house I grew up in, and it's been open for 20 years. The Trinkles, who Dave, he was on city council. It's a well-known name. He's a doctor. He opened it 20 years ago, and he lives in the neighborhood too. And it's a great spot, man. Like, we grew up going there. And then it kind of like got to a place where I think as we like moved to Asheville and got away from it's like everyone you've ever met from high school or growing up is at that place. And so you start to have an aversion to it, right?
Yeah.
But there's actually something as you get a little older that's
Once you get older past
very
that,
alluring.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, cool, we have a place to gather where like we've all known each other forever, and there's like that doesn't exist. And Roanoke is an interesting place. I'm still, my best friends, man, are some of my best friends are like Spencer, who I grew up with in Roanoke and met when I was 4, Joyner, who I met when I was like 7. We all moved here together. We're still best friends. Like, Roanoke, there's a connection of people that's really strong, and I don't know why it exists the way that it does, but like everyone I went to elementary school, maybe not everyone, but the majority, we still have some sort of a relationship, and that's what made this Fork thing so cool. So my business partner, he lives in Roanoke, Nick Miller. We just did Charleston.
So are you like the owner of the?
Me and him own it together.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the Dave, he wanted to retire. And was just kind of, it takes a lot of energy to do things like this. And, I feel fortunate to be able to do it now, but there will be a time where, like, I will be tired of expressing my energy. And he had hit that point with it. He really enjoyed the space, but I think he had spent so much energy on it, like it was time to let somebody else put some energy in. And so Nick actually brought it to me and knew that I had the experience, and he wanted to leave the corporate world. So he got out of the corporate world to do this, and it's just been, nothing's perfect, but like, dude, it's been fucking killer. It's been so sick.
And you guys had Mountain Grass Unit like 2 weeks ago,
Bro.
which is crazy. That it was a free show. Was it a free show?
It's $10, yeah.
$10. That's basically a free show.
Yeah, we got a little flack on all that, yeah, but whatever. Like, shout out to the Mountain Grass Unit boys. Those dudes are awesome.
So good.
But like, we're learning how to work with the city. We're learning on these things. And so we kind of misrepresented because we didn't think we'd be able to shut the street down, blah, blah, blah. So like, we thought we were only going to have like a few, maybe 200 people show up. We ended up having 700 people show up, which blew the band's expectations. And when tour managers are booking this, the next night was Charlottesville, they're not trying to book something, because we were a last minute booking. We weren't even on the tour poster. They're not trying to book something that's going to hurt their sales
the next night.
Next night or anything. And so we're learning lessons as we go on
Those
this.
boys are not running. They sell out I saw them in Knoxville at like, it was called Barley's Pizza and Tap Room.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
It's a fucking bar.
Yeah.
And that place sold out like packed house.
You went to that show, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to that show.
I saw you there.
Right before they sold out like the Georgia Theater or something.
That Saturday night. It was like the night before. Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, and their tour manager Reggie, or Sam is probably who you talked to.
Sam's a bass player.
Yeah, but there's the tour manager is Sam, but he goes by Reggie also.
Oh yeah.
He sang Hound Dog with him the other day, and there's because he's a Berkeley kid too.
He's the man. They're all the man.
Yeah,
like, they're all
such good dudes.
We part of what we're doing is we're trying to book bands. We had Stickley came down and played. Larry Keel came down, or I guess because Larry's a Virginia boy. We've had Kendall Street. We're doing this in a way that we're trying to book things that we really enjoy that are, I wouldn't even call Mountain Grass up and coming, but kind of like their trajectory's wild, bro.
Yeah, they're unreal.
But this is like, they're playing a throwback space. They're playing a space that, the next night was, for them, was Charlottesville at, why am I drawing a blank on the venue there? But not the Jefferson. Well, it doesn't matter. But like, it's a venue, right? Like, it's a big venue. It's a historical theater, and they're playing my front porch, And I'm sitting there with like my business partner Nick, who again we've been friends since we were 5, and Jennifer, we've known each other since high school, and like we're all like, I cried.
Yeah,
I cried. Like, I feel so fortunate to get to do these things and to do them with the people that I really love, and also to do them with these bands that I really like.
That you love. That's what makes it like special. It's like it's one thing to put on a show with like, and you made money. Cool.
Sure.
But it's like when you really like for me, like going to the All Jammed Up Fest thing, like Kindle Street Company was like, I got into Grateful Dead like in college. And I remember I was like drunk wandering through downtown Harrisburg. I think I've told this story like 3 times in the podcast. So sorry guys, but I was like drunk walking through downtown Harrisonburg, and I heard Bertha, like a frat party playing Bertha, and I was like, where is that? So like I just followed the music, and then like met all these Kindle Street dudes, and then like moved to Richmond after college, saw them all the time, and then when I had the like idea of doing this All Jammed Up thing, I was like, I have to have Kindle Street play it, and then like sure enough they played it, and like I cried that day too. Like I didn't sell a ton of tickets, but like I broke even on that.
Good.
And like to me, I was like, was a success for me, because
That's
like,
all you need. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awesome.
If you can book if you can book a band that you really love seeing, and it doesn't cost you any money at the end, you have done well.
It was Kindle Street, Sons of Stars, and these.
That was a great lineup.
And then Pickety Split and Shedbugs, which like Shedbugs is like.
Shedbugs are sick.
They're sick too. And then Pickety.
Trying to get Shedbugs, come to Fork in the Alley. We're about to email you today.
Okay. Yeah, I can put you in touch with Morgan. Dude, he's a man. He's love it. But then there's another band, Pickety Split, who like when I started the podcast, they were the first person that were like, "Hey, we see your podcast and like what you're doing. We want to come on it if we can."
Sick.
And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And they were super cool dudes, and like. I put them first, kind of like, I don't know how good these guys are going to be. They were fucking killers, dude. They were so good. Like, just traditional bluegrass. Not really like jam grass, but just doing traditional tunes, and they were awesome.
It's cool how bluegrass is progressing. You know, we went to Delfest this year, and obviously because my kid's name's Dell, so now we're going every year.
Yeah.
And it's in Cumberland, Maryland, which is where I used to live before I lived in Asheville. I wanted to, like, I had a head that was scrambled and wanted to move somewhere that I didn't know anyone and, like, just make sure that, like, I was, like, a normal human being, I guess. So I moved there, and ended up meeting like one of my best friends that is still one of my best friends, Sammy, who lives up in Philly. But like really enjoyed that time. And so going back to Cumberland was really cool, and taking my kid, Dell to Delfest. But like the bluegrass scene right now is it's super fun.
Yeah.
It's super fun. And it's different than, I'm a Jeff Austin dude, right? Like I grew up doing Yonder and seeing a lot of Jeff and the energy that Jeff possessed. Yeah, man, Jeff's a tough loss, right? Like the energy that Jeff possessed, the energy that Jeff put into the bluegrass community, and the energy that just radiated off of Jeff in personality and in playing was something that no one else was really doing at the time. There's a lot of traditional, a lot of great flat pickers, a lot of there were people that were raging, right?
Yeah.
But Jeff, dude, just took it to another. And now there's 50 Jeffs.
Yeah.
Just touring all the time.
Freaking Alex Bazemore right over here, man. Like he's just
there's 50 Jeffs in Asheville. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because it's become, there's just so much passion in bluegrass, and that's it's such a cool revival.
Yeah,
it's such a cool. And Billy, dude, I mean, that dude deserves so much to take flat picking, to take playing all these traditional bluegrass songs and gospel songs and originals, and to give them a psychedelic flair, and to play Grateful Dead songs that get you kind of cut your teeth on some Grateful Dead, and then Bobby Weir be like, yo, chill, and you'd be like, yo, my bad, I won't even play the Dead anymore.
Yeah.
And people still come.
Yeah.
People are only coming there for a while for Dead stuff. That was the thing that turned them on. No one gives a shit
Have
if
you
Billy plays
heard
Dead anymore.
All Fall Down by John Hartford, the original song?
Yes.
Yeah, how the fuck did he hear that song and be like, watch what I'm gonna do?
Dude.
Just turn it into this, like you said, just psychedelic. That song can take you to some crazy places.
Shout out to one of my local favorites, Brushfire State Grass.
Uh-huh.
Those dudes, I've known them forever, man. And they rip so hard. They played the Wedge the other night. So
That's me.
Okay, cool. And make sure it's on. And just, genuinely good dudes and just super. But they used to play Funkatorium every Wednesday night. The Sailor Brothers would be Will and Ben. Stickley would play, and Lindsey Pruitt. And, just a bunch of cool, folks. And I was always the bartender. That was my shift. And they did this aeroplane string band. So it was all Hartford tunes off the airplane.
Yeah, sick.
That was I knew a little Hartford, but that was really my introduction, heavily into it.
He's got some really good songs.
I just got it on vinyl finally.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a repress or something, but that's been my number one, trying to find Aeroplane on vinyl forever, so that I can turn my kid onto it. Like, but yeah, it's there's such cool historic bluegrass that's now getting brought back into the mainstream. It's a great time for jamgrass. It's a great time for traditional, and Asheville's a great time for it.
Yeah.
But Roanoke's really turning into being a really big spot for it too.
When we were planning our move, I heard people be like, Roanoke is what Asheville was like 15 years ago.
It's not true.
Okay.
But
there's the people of Reddit.
There's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Roanoke is a different place and Asheville's a different place by nature. They both have great things about them. They both have negative things about them. They're both really cool spots. And Roanoke we're trying to put our energy into keeping that vibe high. But 5 Points is a music venue there that this dude Tyler Gotzi opened a few years ago, and they're doing some great booking. Like Papadozia play. I mean, they do a really good job. There's Martin's, which is a historic place. That Mountain Grass, that's where they played last time a few years ago.
Okay, yeah.
It's a great venue, and they do a great job with their booking. We're trying to be an auxiliary to that, or like an offset. We're not a music venue. We're a restaurant, but like we're trying to bring. There's a lot of people putting energy into Roanoke on some cool shit for sure, and that's fun to see. But Asheville's always been that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's a place of small startups, of people putting their own personal energy. I saw the homie who's, part of the owner of Tobacco Barn last night at the fair, and like saw his kid. He's like, yeah, she just turned 17. I'm like, damn, when I met her, she was like 5, like it's a town of movers and shakers and people that are homies doing stuff, and that's great. Roanoke is now, in my opinion, and again, I don't live there, so I don't want to misspeak, represent it, but it's in a place where it's really starting to get the proper recognition and finding its voice in a music community, and that community seems to be rooted in jamgrass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. I have a question. Like, you've been going to shows for years, and like now, like having kids, how has that kind of changed your like show going experience?
Bro, they almost didn't let my kid into the Disco Biscuits. That was a huge one.
Really?
We checked, and it said like all ages were cool, and then we got there, and they're like, 12 and over, and luckily I have
What difference does it make if it's a 12-year-old or a 4-year-old? Like, really?
Well, luckily I hit up the homies and was like, hey, is there any, can we do something here? And they were cool about it, but
that's the picture where it says "Wookin' ain't easy."
Yeah. I love having kids. The best thing that's ever happened to me. And I love music. It's like the thing, I don't want to say that. I think it's a little taboo to be like, music saved me or something like that. Yeah. But like as a kid, going to military school, and I had this, everyone's got a story, right? Everyone grew up in a weird way, but like it wasn't really until I went to All Good as a kid right out of high school. No, maybe it was seeing Lotus in like 2005. I was still in high school, and they played Star Hill in Charlottesville, and my homies dragged me along, and but there were like these moments in time where like music had such a profound impact in changing the trajectory of my life, and I feel very fortunate to be where I am in life. Like I really enjoy my life.
Yeah.
So that's, for me with kids, is very important to like instill into kids. My kid might grow up and just totally not be into the same music that I'm into. And that's fine. But I want him to at least have music as being part of his experience or their experience, or hers too. Kids are fun, and taking kids to shows, it's like the most classic argument, right? Like, Fish especially, because Fish is so opinionated. Fish fans are so opinionated, but like, leave your little snot buckets at home, we don't need them here, keep your kids out of the pit. There's a respectful way of doing anything, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't take my kids to Charleston. Like, they were in Charleston with us, but they didn't go to the shows. It's an indoor venue. It's not the scene. We're taking the kids to Alpharetta. There's a great place on the lawn. We'll get chairs. We'll mark off a little space that's not involved anybody. So, I think, I feel very fortunate that, like, we get to do these things, but we also approach them from a place of, like, understanding that, hey, this is the 3-year-old, and, he can't party with you.
Yeah. Is that like a hard, like, I don't know, this might be a dumb question, but like, is it like a hard toe, like, do you ever like, maybe just eat a little mushrooms to go to the show? Or like, it's like, that's just not an option?
I definitely think psychedelics are great.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate for psychedelics. I think psychedelics in an appropriate position is an amazing thing. Shaped my life for sure. I wouldn't be where I am without psychedelics. Really, nothing but total love. Psychedelics and parenting for me personally, I don't want to speak on anyone else's. It doesn't line up.
Yeah.
And it's just not something that I do. I don't indulge in psychedelics.
At all anymore.
I don't want to say it at all because then somebody's like, hey, man, I saw that all jammed up. You said you didn't do psychedelics, and it looks like you ate a stem. I don't want to say that, but I definitely less frequently, if at all.
Yeah.
I don't really speak too much about, like, drug use or alcohol use or anything like that on a day-to-day basis because, like, I want everyone to have their own perception. It doesn't matter what my perception is.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten older and having kids, you are forced to have some sort of an accountability of your relationship with substances and all, as I sit here and drink coffee even. And I feel very fortunate that I've had the support of my wife and my kids and my community and everyone to evaluate those relationships in my own way and come out with conclusions that work the best for me.
Yeah.
And so no, I don't usually eat acid. I don't drop.
Because sometimes
I don't puddle myself before I hang out with my children now.
Sometimes I'm just like, one day maybe I'll have kids and like, it's fun to do them and go to shows, and it's like, at what point is it like, I can't be doing that shit anymore?
You said you're 29?
Yeah.
Yeah, you still got time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that, like, the 45-year-old who still doses to go see Sound Tribe is doing something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like, I definitely don't want to indicate that at all. But there is a shift. It happened to me. I've been with my wife forever. Like, we were neighbors in Asheville when I first moved here. And started hanging out, and we've just been together ever since, traveling, got married, and, had kids. Like, it's a good vibe. But we never thought we were going to have kids. That was never, like, part of the discussion. And we were together through our whole 20s, and we never would have ever thought about having kids. And then something happened about, like, 31, 32, and you're like, shit, am I supposed to do this? Like, is this the thing?
Yeah.
Like, and then we did, and, like, it's the greatest thing ever, and I'm so stoked on it. But, you take a little, you give a little, like, the attraction to psychedelics with music becomes less, and the attraction becomes more like, I want
showing my kid
this,
okay.
right? Like, I get the same joy.
That's just the total difference between, like, dad brain and not dad brain. It's like, I have a kid, I still want to do a little bit.
I love watching the walls move, right? Like, I love it all, and I've done it all, and I really, truly,
I love my kid way more.
I feel thankful, but I don't have a need to experience those things anymore, right? Like, I don't have it's not that I don't have a desire. I always desire higher learning, higher consciousness, like anything, right? Like, I always want to be exploring, learning. That's part of life, right? And if you don't, then you might as well die. Yeah. But I don't have this, like, oh, dude, Papadozzi is playing Boomtown, and that'd be a really fun place to eat. I hit acid. Yeah. But I did for a very long time.
Yeah, okay. That makes it, like I said, that's the difference between me and somebody who's a dad.
And then now I'm like, we see all the homies and all the kids are there, and I'm thinking about that, like, man, if I had a head full of L, like, how would that go? Yeah. They'd be like, man, that guy Ross is on some different shit.
That was kind of like what I was going. I was like, there's no way he's going to say yes. But, like, I'm curious as to, like...
No, I like these questions.
Yeah,
I like this. Yeah, no, this is... thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for coming on. And this is one I've been excited about for a while. So.
Well, it's just stuff I never dive into. Right? Yeah. Like, I talk to my employees and my wife and my business partners, and I have these conversations that are all rooted in, like, actuality day to day. But I don't actually get to have a conversation and, like, evaluate, like, the difference of using substances versus not doing substances in relation to having. It's not a conversation I ever get to have. Yeah. I enjoy that conversation.
You ask your wife, she's like, no, you're not doing it, in discussion.
There's probably a part of that, too. Yeah, there's probably, she definitely, I don't want to speak for her, put her on blast here, too, but she's had fun, Yeah. We all had fun. Our 20s in Asheville were great, man. Like,
I bet, yeah.
And this was, there was just a time and a place in Asheville that rent was approachable, and jobs were easier, and the service industry was a little more supported than it is right now, and it was just a little bit, there was a time and a place that it was really a little bit easier to exist here. And that coincided with being of an age where we enjoyed eating psychedelics, and there was tons of music, and Pisgah was such a good party for so long. It still is, but, like, it was just, like, man, some of the Pisgah shows back in the day were just like so cool. And then we got Salvage Station. That was so great. And like, you know, all these things, like I feel very fortunate to have had those experiences and stuff that I did in town. But it's a harder town and it's a harder place to do that. And, you know, you look at Austin, Texas, you look at these towns, people want to be in desirable places. And Asheville is a desirable place. And unfortunately, that is how it goes. I feel fortunate that when I moved here, the two bedroom, 2-bath house in the downtown Asheville was $535. You know, I bought my first house for like $150,000.
That's crazy.
You know? And then, you know, I refined it and stuff like that throughout time. But like that was how it was going.
Yeah.
And then beer came along, and who knows if it's, I don't want to blame beer, it's what I do, but that 2014, 13, it kind of coincided with Burial, Wicked Weed, all these guys. It elevated Asheville onto a different map and brought a lot of tourism in, and then a lot of tourists wanted to stay. Cost of living really went up. Hotels started booming. Airbnbs started happening. Like, it was just all these crazy shifts all at once. And where it's left us is, you know, and I don't want to dog Asheville because I love it. It's my home. But it's left us in an interesting place that does require, in my opinion, some action.
Yeah.
In order to get it back to
What do you think that is, that action?
You know, and again, I don't want to make this political. It's about music. But I do think that it's like the responsibility of the city is not, the responsibility of the city, of the mayor, of the city council, is not to like be like, hey, sales are down at the Whale, so we need to give them money.
Yeah.
That's not the city's responsibility. That would be socialism and stuff, and that's just not what we do. The responsibility of the city is to make sure that there's a reason to be here, that the message is across the board to the greater public, not just local, but to the greater public, that Asheville is a place you want to be. And we deal with problems like any other city. You know, we've got crime, we've got, you know, the problems, right? But every city has problems. And I would like to see a stronger stance in supporting the arts. That's what got me to Asheville. I want to see a stronger stance supporting the beer industry, because it's the third biggest industry here, if not the second. Like, the hospital's huge, Biltmore's huge, and then it's beer. And honestly, beer might, I don't know what the rank is on that, you know?
I think in saying that too, like when Asheville is like being promoted, it's like we come here for the art and the food and the beer, and it's like if they're not putting the money into that, how can they promote it if they're not doing their part of it?
Bring back Belshare. Belshare was great. I was here for Belshare. It was great. It had its problems like anything, right? But there's a way to mitigate.
What was it?
Belshare. So there's a festival. You don't know about Belshare? Oh, sick. There was a festival downtown for years, and I think it started 70s, 80s, as a way. Basically, Asheville goes through these periods of depression. It's cyclical, and it's happened forever.
Yeah.
And but then you also have the Vanderbilts coming here and building houses, right? Like it's a crazy place.
Yeah.
And so they started this arts street and art festival. Music wasn't even a huge component of it, but it was like a place for like local artists to have vending booths, just like Boomtown. When you watch on Boomtown, there's so many vendors.
Yeah.
It's great. Boomtown is awesome.
It was awesome.
I love Boomtown.
It felt like I was at like a legit festival.
Shout out to all the people doing Boomtown. That they are doing such a great job. Papadozie was an amazing booking, especially because it was the last two local shows before those dudes take a hiatus. Like incredible. But Belshare was like that times 30. So it was like all down Patton, all down College, down Cox. There would be big stages. And everything's free. Everything's free. So, like, music's free, entertainment's free, art, you know, I'm sure they paid a vendor fee, but like, and people are coming to buy art. People are coming to engage with local community people that are using this spot. And then it got a little sloppy, and it got a little drunk, and it got a little wild, but that's just the course of how things go. You can make regulation. You could try to do it better. I mean, as a kid, I was walking down there with book bags full of beer every day. You know, like just crushing beers and getting hammered, yelling at blackberry smoke. You know, like, and it was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
But what it did was it would bring like 500,000 people to town for that weekend. It was huge. 500,000 people to town. And we need those things. So I've been working on this, social drinking district for the South Slope. I've been working really hard on that, trying to get that done and working with some really cool people. Because I think, like, right now we just need something that's an immediate economic impact that we can put out to the masses.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And just say, yo, hey, you can now drink in the street and you can hit Burial, The Whale, Green Man, Twin Leaf, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, in this area, walk around the beer. It's so low impact. People are already doing it all the time.
Yeah.
It's so low. But it gives us something that's acute, attainable, and advertisable to the greater market. So then people are like, oh, not only can I do this, but Asheville must be open if they're doing this.
Yeah.
There must be a reason to go back to Asheville.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the things that I want to continue to put my energy in. It's not just, obviously my business, I want my business to do well, but I want Asheville to do well.
Fuck yeah, dude.
This is my home.
Yeah.
I want Asheville to do well.
I think that's a great place to end it, man. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, real quick though.
Plug whatever you need.
I see. I'll plug it all. Kindle Street, yo. If you haven't seen Kindle Street yet, check out the
Go see
homies.
the
Killing it.
homies.
Mountain Grass, don't miss it. Sector 9, October 3rd and 4th down in Charleston. It's an easy drive. Come down and see us it's at the Whale, but it's called the Refinery. And I see your Steely Dead sticker on your computer.
Oh yeah.
I want to hit a Steely Dead real quick. So I went to Dead 60, and then it was $100 to fly to Kauai round trip.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, let's go to Kauai. And we were able to like book this timeshare last minute that was like $120 a night to stay in Kauai at this resort. It's like, dude, this is all too good to be true. So like, bam, 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 like good fortune lining up, taking my kids to Hawaii. Wasn't even expecting it. After the Dead, like what a cool thing. We get there, we're hanging out, and there's a place there, and it's called like Anui, but it's where they do Mahalo Dead. So like Bill Kritzman every year does Mahalo Dead, and
Billy and the Kids thing, right?
yeah, and because he lives on Kauai, and we were there, and randomly, thanks to Facebook and technology, getting back to pops up, and they're like, "Yo, Steely Dead is playing this place," and I was like, "Damn, let's take the kids
Stars aligning.
go see Steely Dead." I love Steely Dan. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite bands of all time, and I've really only gotten into Steely Dan in the last few years, but like really love it.
Yeah.
Obviously love the Dead, but I'd never seen Steely Dead. Bro, if you like Steely Dan at all, which who doesn't, and you like the Dead, Steely Dead is one of the coolest bands touring right now. And they are the best energy.
Yeah.
And they are just the way they intertwine Hey 19 with Fire on the Mountain or something, and they're like going between, and like just it's insane.
I
And
interviewed them. They'd never have a set list before a show.
they are so good. You've interviewed them?
Yeah.
They are so good. And they seem like the nicest dudes.
They're super nice. And they were just like, we were playing a song. Like, we have songs that are like kind of couples, but like we'll hear a song and we'll see like, oh, it's in this key. Let's just see if we can go into this one. Because they try to do alternating.
To see them in Kauai, just in itself is cool. This room is tiny.
Yeah.
It's a tiny little room. The energy coming out of that room, it sounded like, Grateful Dead 71. Like, you listen to these live recordings, people are like, woo, woo, woo. You're like, what the hell is going on with these people? That was the energy that they were, like, pulling out of people. It was so good. So, yeah, shout out Steely Dead. If you get a chance to see Steely Dead, do not skip. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's where I'll end it.
All right. Thanks so much for coming on, Russ.
All right, thanks for having me.
You just got jammed.
Welcome back from that interview with Ross, guys. I wasn't lying to you. That dude's the man, and he's not lying either. Go see Steely Dead. Those boys are legit. Friends of the program. They've been on in the past. So check them out if you get a chance. Chloe and I have Sierra Farrell tonight, so that will be a fun topic for Thursday. Sierra Farrell's like one of her favorite musicians. I like her, so I'm excited to see him be something kind of different for us. So super stoked for that show. Going to be a good one. Turnstile Wednesday, maybe? Maybe we'll get out there. A little bit of price your ticket. So if you're in Asheville and you have an extra ticket, hit me up. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I got, guys. We'll see you again on Thursday with Trey Wellington. Will be the guest on Thursday, a banjo player. Super fun interview too. We kind of get into some serious stuff, which is always fun. And hell yeah. So we'll see you guys again on Thursday. Have a great week. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Come along, have a drink with me. We can talk about the world and how the world is turned so slow. Day that I found cars they drive and planes they fly. I look into the sun and the sky, you're so bright. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know there's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down. The moon and the stars, they sail across the sky, and I could watch you dance all through the night. When the rhythm is right, oh, and I know the sun is rising now. Or if the world would just slow down. So you move with me and I'll move with you, and I could spend the rest of my life by your side. It's you that I have found. Oh, and I know it's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down. There's not much longer now. Or if the world would just slow down.